All right, guys. Today I'm going to go over chapter 14 of book 6. And this is page 160, 161, and 162. You guys already did 160 and 161. And then I'm going to give you the translation for 162. And there'll be some questions for you to answer. All right, let's just get through it. All right, so Druids were accustomed to being away from war. All right, so Druids were exempt from war. Nor do they pay taxes together with the rest. When una is in the ablative, it can mean together, nor do they pay taxes together with the rest, which is interesting because they're exempt from taxes just like religious organizations are today. All right, so they have a an exemption of military service and an immunity or just exemption again of all things. All right, it's kind of vague, but he probably just means like public service, like jury duty, I guess. So Druids, they don't go to war, they don't pay taxes, and they don't fight. All right, excited by such great rewards. You have two ets coming up here, so both hands. So we'll start with multi. Many, both willingly. Sua sponte pops up a lot in Caesar. Just all together can mean willingly. So many, both willingly come into the discipline or come together into the discipline and are sent by their parents and relatives. All right, so it's appealing to be a druid. There, and we learned in the last chapter that there is probably Britain, where you would go to study to be a druid. There, they are said, it's tough to get that to go there first, but they are said to learn. I mean, the verb actually means to learn thoroughly, but just to learn is fine. They are said to learn a large number of verses. They are said to learn a large number of verses. Therefore, non-nulli. Therefore, literally not none or several. Therefore, several remained in the discipline for Wikanos Anos for 20 years. Therefore, several remain in the discipline for 20 years. So it takes 20 years to be a druid. Nor do they think that it is right. It's a tough little phrase there. Fas appears a few times. Nor do they think that it is right to entrust these things to letters. This is kind of interesting. Nor do they think that it is right to entrust these things to letters. Come here. Kind of like although in almost all things, public and private, rationibus goes with it. In almost all things, public and private accounts, they use Greek letters. All right, so what Caesar is saying here is that they don't like to write anything of importance down. But if they have to write things down, they use Greek letters. So they've adopted the Greek alphabet as their language. But all of their discipline, nothing is written down. And that's why all we know about the Druid culture is from these writings here by Caesar, at least like 90% of it. All right, Caesar kind of reflects on why they don't write anything down or anything of importance down, like their teachings. Like they would never have a Bible, for example. All right, so I guess you can start with it here. It seems to me, and it's rare that Caesar uses me, but it seems to me that they have instituted this for two reasons. Because they neither wish the discipline to be brought, it's a passive infinitive, into the crowd or into the common people. So they don't want just anybody to know what they do or know the secrets of being a druid. All right, so I'll just repeat that. Because they neither want the discipline to be brought into the crowd or into the common people, nor do they who learn or who are learning you can kind of do like this part's a little tricky, but nor do they who learn, having trusted letters, be less eager for memory. All right. That part's pretty tricky. So the people who are learning it, having trusted letters, would be less eager for memory. So, if you're taking notes in class, maybe you're just focused on taking the notes and not actually memorizing and committing what you're learning to your memory. So if you were in a Druid classroom, you would be taking no notes because they believe that you're more engaged and you're more willing to memorize it if you can't trust the letters. So there's something to be said about that. He kind of repeats like basically what I just said there, because it almost happens to several that with the protection of letters, they release diligence in learning and memory. That they release diligence in learning and memory, which is just just reinforcing what I said. All right, that was it. That was all that you guys did. That part was kind of tricky. All right, let's see if I missed anything. All right. Okay, this last part is kind of cool. So in Primisad, in the beginning, or like importantly, kind of, but you can just say like in the beginning, they wish to persuade this. Hawk is this. They wish to persuade this, that souls do not die, but post-mortem, after death, cross from one to the other. It's plural, but you can just say from one to the other. So, but after death, cross from one to the other. And they think that this maxime greatly, that this greatly excites them to courage. and that this greatly excites them to courage with the fear of death having been neglected. And there's an ablative absolute. With the fear of death having been neglected. All right. So they believe in reincarnation. And they think that that makes them more courageous on the battlefield because they don't fear death, because their soul will just cross from into another body. All right. Also, many things. This is a very random sentence coming up here, but also many things about the stars and their motion, about the size of the, you can even say universe here, of the universe and the lands, about the nature of things, about the force and power of the immortal gods. They discuss and they teach to the youth. All right, so pretty cool. The Druids are into a lot of different. It's not just religion. They're into astrology. They're into geography. The nature of things is pretty vague here, but that's just nature. And of course, the gods. So to be a druid, like he said, it takes 20 years. These were, very scholarly and influential people to Gallic culture. And unfortunately, they didn't write anything down. And so we have to trust Caesar here for his description of these people. All right. I hope you got through that. There'll be some questions to answer, and the translation I'll include at the end of the video. Okay. Hope you all are well. We'll see you next time.